Hi, everybody. Welcome to Amy Howard, Artist in Residence. My name is Audra Lynch Nanay, and I am your artist for today. So we are, I think the name of the title is, let's see, Gilded Sculptural Art. And who doesn't love gold, right? If you guys don't know me, let's go back to that. But again, I'm Audra. I have been a decorative finisher for almost 30 years now, and mainly do walls and floors, furniture a little bit. So gilding, I first did my, hi Barb, good morning. I first did my very first gilding on a wall in a niche about, gosh, it was about maybe 12 feet up, 15 feet up. And it was so scary because I had never really worked that large scale with gold leafing. So it was imitation gold leaf, but it was fun. Ever since then, it's like I just want to put gold leaf on everything. So for those of you who do not know what gold leafing is, let me show you the picture. I'm kind of not organized here. This is the picture. If you guys tuned in last month, this was an embossed relief that we did, and I'll kind of go through that a little bit, but we're not going to focus on that today. We're just going to focus on the gilding aspect of it. So this is dimensional. If you can see, it's raised, it's hollow, but I wanted to gild it, or gold leaf. It can be used interchangeably, and there's a lot of different gold leaves. This one that we're going to use today is this one here. It comes in a pack. I believe it's 20 or 25 pieces, sheets. And this is called composition gold leaf, or it's also known as imitation gold leaf. The other name, Dutch metal. Hi, Jill. Hi, Vaklina or Waklina. Vaklina? From Denmark, exciting. So imitation gold leaf is still made with metal, but it's made with brass, copper, other alloy, zinc, might have nickel in it, aluminum sometimes. The silver leaf might be aluminum. I'm not sure, but you honestly could do some really beautiful things if you use chemicals on the composition leaf. Anyway, it's just really fun to work with. It comes in rolls, it comes in strips, it comes in these sheets. There's a couple different sizes. There's, this does not have, well, this does, you could use this. They call them transfer sheets. So if you guys have never worked with gold leaf, this is a nice way to get into it because we're not going to be super picky with how it lays down. Brush strokes, because this is a very kind of more of a rugged rustic finish. So but you can put it on all different objects. You need you need composition, the gold leaf, and you need the gilding size, which is basically a glue. I think I did some gold leafing and something else too, maybe not. But the size, some of them I did because I know I talked about it. Anyway, the gilding size, the glue, some of them have to stay on quite a bit before you put the gold leaf on. This is pretty instant. You can, once you see it tack up and lose the white, you can honestly put the gold leaf right on it then. There is oil sizing, there's water gilding, there's all different kinds. This one, I don't know if you can tell the difference. This one is actual gold leaf. We did this in Amy's retreat. It was so much fun. But this is real gold leaf. And if you saw them apart, you probably would never tell the difference. Hi, Pam. If you see them next to each other, you will see the difference of real gold leaf. It is so brilliant. It polishes. It really is beautiful, but of course it's much more costly. So, so what we're going to do today, I did this one. I put it on a piece of canvas, I made a new rosette. I think that's what someone said it's called, right? A rosette. So I made the mold of this and I pasted it on the piece of canvas. I did paint the edge. This is Chinese red, Amy Howard's One Step Paint. You can honestly use any paint as a base color. You don't even necessarily have to have a base paint, but I want to see some of the red poking through, and red is a traditional bowl color under gold leaf. So I kind of wanted to stay in this color for this project today. And so One Step Paint on here, see, and I don't know if you can tell, it's shiny. So I did put the size on all of it. I'll show you quickly down there to apply it on there. So may as well get started, right? Let's turn you guys down. Enough of me blabbing. Let's see. Can you see that? Because I'm not showing up on my Facebook here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so what we did last month, real quickly, I had this object and I wanted to make a relief of it. And what I did, instead of putting a size on here or Vaseline or something to work as a resistance, I wound up just using the tin foil. I covered it up. And then I got my caproni wrap. I cut it to size how I wanted. I wet it. And then I used my brush and I tapped it in and made the form, let that dry. It honestly only takes maybe about an hour for it to be really dry. And then you just peel it off and you save your thing, your initial mold. Here's the back of what that looks like. And then, like I said, I pasted it onto this canvas. So it's really easy. Even if you just didn't want a canvas, if you wanted to just put it on some other object that you already have, you can do the same thing. You can paint it. You don't have to paint it, but we're going to put the size on here. So all I'm doing is using a foam brush. You can use a soft, I would prefer a soft bristle brush for this rather than a chip brush. I feel it goes on nicer. And again, for this, it's not as picky putting it the brush stroke on. But if you were doing it on a flat surface, say you're covering a table and you want to put the gold leaf on there, you really want to try to eliminate brush strokes because you could potentially see that through the leaf when you're done. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm just spreading it on. Now, if I wanted to, I could just hit all the highlights and have that and have more red showing, but I kind of want to have most of it all gold leafed. So, and if you guys have any more questions about the relief, just message me. I will get back to you. This is the last one for the year. If you guys want to see more videos, make sure to follow me at 3 Trees Public Art House. That's where I will be posting videos. And that's where the studio will be having the classes out of. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but I just put that in. You can see the difference of the size when it's wet versus now. I just did this maybe 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, and it's ready to go. So one thing with gold leafing, you want to make sure you always count for a little bit more than what you think. And maybe I'll show you a couple ways. I like using the carrier sheet. This is called the carrier sheet. So you can just, if you haven't worked with it, it's super thin and it can tear quite easily. So that's why this is a good project to start with, because we don't care if it tears. But it's not going to stick to this carrier sheet. And I'm just going to set it down like that. Just rest it on there. We're just going to rest it over the whole thing first. Take this. I've done ceilings in gold leaf, and that's always challenging, trying to look up and having it fall in your face and trying to get it up there nice and neat. Let's see. Have any of you guys, I can't see comments. Hi, Kristen, Colorado. Let's see. Let's see, I'm going to put it on here. This is a little wet still. If it's too wet, sometimes the gold leaf doesn't really like to stick. It's kind of a weird phenomenon, but let's try it because I'm impatient. And I honestly, I don't like to pull the hair dryer out for you guys. And I honestly try not to use a hair dryer when I'm working on my projects anyway, just because I personally like it to dry as intended. So we've got that all covered, as you can see. And with this, again, if you were doing real gold leaf or different projects, you would want to not use your hands so much. There are white gloves you can use, but and I'm not going to rub this down on certain things. Say you're working on a vase, you can definitely smooth it with your hands. But because this is so textured, I'm just taking this soft brush. It's a softer stain brush. It does have some stiffness though to it. It's not as stiff as a chip brush, which I would not use. So you want something a little soft and a little firm. And I'm just going to pounce it. And you can see that it's kind of cracking, which I'm okay with that, because then we're going to glaze this after. And you're just going to pounce this down. I like all those little cracks in there. I think it looks really nice. It looks a little more aged. And you don't have to worry, this is pretty firm, this relief. I took my time on this one versus the other one that I showed you from last month when I did it. And you'll notice when I did do the gold leaf and I laid them down, you want to overlap it slightly. If you don't, that's fine too, but on this instance, I wanted to not have a straight line, because if I didn't, we would have seen a straight line across. So we're just dabbing it in there. And I'm pouncing, if you notice, I'm pouncing straight up and down. I'm not brushing across. You can, but I want to pounce because I want to create that kind of crackle. And I feel it produces a better crackle that way. And now we can smooth that out. It does become a little messy. And if you're frugal enough to save some of these pieces, sometimes I'll put a piece of plastic underneath what I'm working on and collect all the remnants, because they actually sell gold leaf called Shabin that is just these little fluff balls of the leaf. So, and you want to make sure wherever you put the glue, it is going to stick. So if you did not want glue, if you do not want it to stick on, say, this edge, you definitely want to not put glue on there. And make sure it's not on your hands, because wherever you touch it, it will stick. So, which it's honestly nice just like this. So Let me take my rag here. I have a little rag. We're just gonna brush some of these off. Just in time for Christmas. So, any questions? Hi, Danny. Can we get the sterling silver and real gold leaf on the site? I don't believe so, but I'd have to look. But I think it's just the imitation Jill on Amy's site. You can kind of see my straight line here. I should have overlapped that a little more. So if I wanted to, I can come back, add a little bit right here, and then I'll put some more on there. Did you all see that little space? It just didn't look natural to me when you have that straight line. So now here's the little one. When I did last month, we actually pushed the caproni into a mold. I don't know if you guys remember. Some of you, if you didn't see it, just go back into the site and check out the last month that I did. But we pushed the caproni wrap into a silicone mold, and that's what it produced. And I did the same thing. I just covered it with a sheet of gold leaf, and I glazed it with, today we're using, I'm going to do both, probably, the English walnut and also Kensington black. On this piece, I used mainly the Kensington black because I have the dark blue background. And I thought that looked better with the darker stain, gel stain. So now since this one is warmer, I think I'm gonna like the English walnut better. So let's see if this will stick being wet. Yeah, see, it's a little too wet and it's not sticking, but you guys get the idea, right? So, and now the gel stains, you can honestly use all different kinds of materials to antique this. You can use, I have a piece of furniture here in the studio that I used milk paints over the leaf. You can use, Amy's got glazed over. You can mix paints or pigments in there and use that as well. This gel stain is just a nice, easy product to work with, and the color, I like it. It's a nice antiquing color, and basically all I'm doing is, if you guys can see that, I'm just dipping my finger in there and I'm just going to rub it in. Now I can put as much or as little of this as I want, but it just kind of sets it back a little bit. If you guys see the difference, gold leaf on its own, it can be quite bright. Again, it's still a little different than real gold leaf as far as the brilliancy of it. But yeah, I don't even think I'm going to use black on here. I like this is English walnut. I love these gel stains. I've been using them quite a bit here. Let's see. And if you want to leave a little more in your crevices, you can. A little goes a long way. If you wanted to, you could brush it as well and then just rub some off. I guess I kind of like finger painting. But it does. This English walnut on the gold leaf with the red looks really nice. So you're just going to continue. I'm going to kind of avoid that little spot that I put that light or the touch-up piece on. And you just get every spot. If you wanted to, I'll show you what the Kensington black looks like too, just so you guys can see some on it. And you can see the difference. If I put a lot on there, I don't want it that much. So just rub it off. But if I wanted to, again, I could keep some in the crevices. Kind of takes away from the red though, if there's too much in there. So. One thing though with the imitation leaf, you do want to seal it. This does provide a bit of a sealer on here, but you could wax this or roll on your mat. Don't know if I would do the matte medium though. The matte, I probably would just wax this. Or just leave it, because honestly, I don't care if it turns. I don't think it'll tarnish too badly. But if you had unexposed or exposed imitation leaf, it can tarnish. Real gold will not, but the imitation does. But that can lend in its own kind of cool characteristic appearance too. So let me put a little more in here. And you can be kind of strategic where you want darks and lights. You know, you might want to put more darks. I hit that spot. That's okay. So I don't know if you guys saw the difference, but how pretty is that? Isn't it nice? You can frame this up, make a nice little gift, nice little piece hanging on the wall. This one I used, let's see, I did not put that much leaf on there. There was a lot of exposed, and I had painted this with milk paint. And so it sticks, and the glaze colors that differently. So that's why there's a lot of the darks that stuck to that one. Let's see, same thing on, no, this one I did milk paint also. But let's try a little bit of, let's just try a little bit of black so you guys can see that. So this one is called Kensington Black. Let's just add a little, yeah, see, I just would use that sparingly. I don't know if you could tell the difference. The English walnut really warms it up. The black does tend to make it just a little dirtier. You could probably make a nice blend though of just adding a little bit of the Kensington mixed with the English walnut. But I'm going to hit just a little bit on the outer edges because this is where it would be kind of dirty. And I don't want it all over. If I wanted to, I could take a little brush and put some in some spots. But how nice is that, right? Nice and easy. Hi, Danny. Do I mix the gel stain and glaze together? Nope, it's just gel stain on its own. It comes just like this. And like I said, this English walnut is such a really pretty color. I haven't tested it as far as like glazing. The glaze, I would assume, has a longer open time, but I tend to work really quick. So this is plenty open for me, if that makes sense. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for watching. Hi, Jamie. How are you? So anyway, so just to recap, you know, whatever mold you have, I had this one from before. I don't know if you guys remembered, but I had cast this with the Eco Powder, and then I made a, let's see, I did this one. This was last month with the shell. So you just make the relief, or you have your object. You use the caproni wrap. You cover it. You cover it with the tin foil. I use tin foil. Or if you are putting it into a silicone mold, I don't have one around here quickly, but you could push it into a silicone mold and then mount it. That's what this one is. So that's a silicone mold, and this is on top of here. And then just let that dry. Now, I was careful when I did this one versus this one. I thought maybe I could reconstitute this and play with the sides because, like I said, I did this really quick last month. But I really don't like all this wasted stuff. So I'm probably just going to toss this because I tried to re-wet this and it did not work to make it nicer. So I did a whole new one. And while it was wet, I scrunched it as to where I really wanted it to be. So made sure all my edges were nice and crinkled. I did actually use just a little bit of Venetian plaster to fill in a couple little spots that I wanted a little more. When you smooth out the caproni wrap and you're brushing it, sometimes it leaves these holes, and I wanted to fill that in. So, and then like I said, just let that dry. You'll put on your size. You put your leaf on, and then glaze it. You can glaze right away, as you saw. So, yes, isn't it pretty? So, and that's about it for today, you guys. Let's see. So, let's see. Any other questions? Hi, Barb. You were there last month. Good, good, good. And again, if you guys want to follow me on Three Trees Public Art House, I know it comes up as Audra Lynch and Company, but that's my decorative finishing business. But the studio is where I'll be doing the live videos, and that's where I'll be having classes. So if you guys want to follow that, and we'll be having more Amy Howard finishes there as well. But I can never get this straight. But yeah, so it's nice and it's dimensional. It will look really nice in a frame. I know. Well, you certainly wouldn't want a gold leaf frame, so I don't think. I mean, I think it's nice on its own. So again, we'll have to mix. Thanks, Jill. So if anyone, like I said, if you guys have any questions, just drop them in the comments. And it has been super fun with you guys this whole year. This is my last one for the year. And could I post my site? Yes, I can. But if you just search also in Facebook, just look for Three Trees Public Art House. You'll see me, but I can post it on there, Barb. So, any other questions? If not, you guys have fun. Go gild everything, make everything brilliant, and give lots of gifts this Christmas. Be thankful, and thanks again so much. Have a good day. Oops.